Yeah! We back at it. Peace to Red Alert. We here to put in work.
Yup.
It's yours truly, Slang Hugh. This is the Lab Chronicles, and I'm not here alone alongside the co-host, the Cole Brethren.
DJ Finn, all these, you know the AKAs. You don't know what they are. Hold on, let me get my mic a little bit louder. There we go, there we go. What's up?
My mic sound nice, check. Yeah, all that. We here for another installment, another episode. What are we at, 6 right now?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait till we lose count. That means we've done enough for people to be now tuning in so properly and all that. The promo's working at that point. It's the Lab Chronicles, and we're here. And me and Finn are also not alone. We got a special guest in the building. Big Baby Tweezes.
Yo,
Big
yo.
Tweeze.
What's going on?
AKA Phat. Tony is in the building. What's happening, bro?
Day out. What you saying, man?
I'm here, man. I'm here. Living life.
Okay.
We always have one question we get started with. We start off the top with, what were you listening to on your way over here?
Oh, word. Oh, I was listening to the new Mathematic album.
Oh, yeah? There's a new Mathematic
Yeah, man. A new Mathematic album dropped on Herbnet, man.
What's it called?
Realism.
I seen it on Bandcamp.
What's it called?
It's called Realism.
How was that?
It was pretty it's pretty dope still, man.
Math is dope.
Yeah,
so,
Math is super ill, man. Toronto legend, man.
Who's he have producing on that, actually?
See, well, that's the thing. I did because I was listening to it on Spotify. You don't see who it is.
Yeah,
I know there was a joint with socks on it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I seen it on Bandcamp. I wasn't sure that it was new, but I did see it.
Yeah, it just dropped. It just dropped still.
What, like
man.
this month it dropped? Or like
Yeah, like I think within like the last 2 weeks or something.
Mathematic Realism.
Yeah, Realism, yeah.
I haven't even heard it, but people go check it out. Math is a legend for real.
What were you listening to?
On my way over here, I haven't been listening to albums, only like when we review them. For the last few years, I've been listening to singles mostly, and I listen to one song or two songs I repeat regularly. So I would listen to this song by a girl named Celeste. At least I think it's a girl.
Okay.
Called Lately. And this other dude, Pink Sweats.
Never heard of him.
Pink Sweats.
No,
I can't remember the name of the song. Why can't I remember the name of it? Truly or... Oh, I can't remember the name. Hold on. I can tell you actually with my phone's in my hand. But that's what I've been listening to. Celeste and Pink Sweats.
What about you, Finn?
Actually, strangely enough, I was listening to that Offset album.
Oh, word. Okay, yeah. It's good.
I mean, it's more content than you would think. Still, he's actually it's like he's still doing a trap flow, but he's actually talking about shit. Talking about it's called Father of Five or Father of Four.
Father of Five or something.
Talking, he's he has a song where he's talking to his kids, talking about like, yo, I never really met your mom and Ray. It's actually it's actually deeper than you would expect. Still, he still has the Migos tracks on there, but
he has some meaningful, deepish.
Yeah. But you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know unless you actually listen because it's still on a trap beat. You know
I wonder if they do that on their other albums though.
No, I don't think so because I've listened to Migos albums. I listen to them in passing. You know what I mean?
Likewise.
But I just put it on.
So it's mostly trap.
It's all trap. Yeah, it's all trap. It's all trap. J. Cole's on there.
To hear one of those guys on a boom bap-ish type beat.
Well, J. Cole's on one of the joints, and
he bodies it.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I've been saying for years? I want to hear a Drake fucking boom bap album.
I know.
We all know.
Yeah, we all know
he can rap, right?
And
I just want him to do one of those middle of the night fucking releases.
Yeah.
On a straight. When I saw the Primo shit, I was like, here we go. This is the beginning of it.
Like 10 songs of just.
So was
not even. You don't even need.
You're
10.
right. Like an EP.
Yeah. Like 7, 8 joints.
Drake.
Like if that.
He could do it though. Those guys, Cole, Kendrick,
100%.
those guys could do it. Those are the last of the spitters or rappers.
Yeah.
That would be interesting still. So that's what we've been listening to.
Okay.
Let's start on our generic question route.
All right, let's do it.
How did you start producing?
The first time I started making beats, it was probably mid-90s, and do you remember Red Life?
Of course.
Yeah.
Remy Rez, that was my homie. Like, we went to elementary school together, the whole 9.
Yeah.
And then from there, Kano, who produced for those guys, lived down the street from me. So he was, the first guy I ever seen with an SP1200. he had the 1,200 turntables at his house, so I used to go to his house all the time and shit.
He's a rich man, is what you're saying.
No, he wasn't a rich man still. You know what I mean?
Have those things back in those days.
And I remember him like, yo, why don't you, because he saw how much I was into it. And he was like, yo, why don't you just try producing this shit? And so, I mean, I tried making beats before, you know, like the little bullshit Gemini mixer and like looping shit on tapes and stuff like that. But like, the first real go at it was when I bought a EPS. That would have been like mid-90s and shit like that. So I tried making beats and stuff.
I feel like an EPS is the very first machine I ever used too.
Yeah?
I believe so.
Yeah, like original, not a 16 plus, like original EPS. You know what I mean?
What's the EPS?
An EPS is like a keyboard sampler. You know what I mean? Like think about like an ASR. It's made by Ensoniq. You know what I mean? It's like an ASR before ASR. You know what I mean?
Seen.
If memory serves me correctly, that was one of the first machines we used back in high school.
Yeah, and then so like I was fucking around making beats and shit. Took a little break. You know what I mean? And then, do you remember there was a video game for PlayStation? I found out later there was a computer program too, but there was a video game called
Music Generator or some
MTV
shit?
Music Generator.
Yeah, somebody else was talking about that the other day too.
So, I used to make beats on that shit, right? Like, so on a random, my homie just gave me this game, right? You know what I mean? Because he used to burn video games. That's when PlayStations were chipped and shit, you know what I mean? So fucking he gave me like a copy of this game. He's like, yo, you'd be into this. And the same times, like I said, Remy's my homeboy. So Kryptonite from Red Life, he used to come par my gates heavy. You know what I mean? So I'd be just making little bullshit beats. Then I learned how to sample into the thing. Into
the game?
Yeah, you could just put your own CDs into the PlayStation and sample right off a CD, right? So then I started really getting into that. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, well, let me break back out this EPS. Was making beats.
So this whole time, were cats rapping on your beats? Did artists take them to
there's definitely, I know that there's definitely joints with Kryptonite and shit like that. Like, if I could ever find
the lost tapes.
You know, 4-track tapes and shit and stuff like that. Stuff with Remy, you know what I mean? But like, nothing serious. Okay. Nothing serious.
So nothing ever came out those days?
No, nothing ever came out those days, okay? So then, I take a next little break, and then I meet Nick from Circle Research. And he was making beats and shit. And I wanted to rap. You know what I mean? But then
this is previous
this is
radio
like,
show?
By this point, it's like maybe 2000. Well, 9/11 happened 2001. So this would have been about 2002.
So Circle Research was already on?
Yeah, they were already on the radio and shit like that. So when I met them guys, they were already on. And then I went into the radio show to host with them.
To host the Circle Research. Right? That was on 88.1. Legendary 88.1.
CKLN 88.1 FM.
Legendary station in this city, yeah.
So 2 to 4 a.m. slot, those guys, they were doing that. So, like I said, I wanted to rap, but Nick would never take me serious and give me his beats, you know what I mean? So I was like, yo, fuck that shit. I got this EPS in my parents' basement. Let me go get it. Boom, go get the EPS now. Disk drive doesn't work. Trying to find a disk drive for those things in that time was fucking damn near impossible. So I'm just like, yo, fuck it. And went and bought an MPC 2000 XL.
Yeah, that's what I started with.
Yeah. And then really started making beats from there. So that was like 03.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then, like probably the first shit that I did that came out would have been with, do you know a guy named Via Lines?
Yeah, I remember Via Lines.
Via Lines, but back then he was in a group called OPM, and he was linesman.
That even sounds familiar.
OPM sounds familiar.
Right? On Point Music they were called, right? Yeah. So,
that would have been your first official
the first thing
release
that ever got released, man. Yeah, it was on like a Style and Progress compilation or some shit.
And was that you that released it, or they released it, or you guys did it?
Like we did, right?
Okay,
so,
cool.
And then, yeah, man, like, been making beats ever since.
So MPC that was what you were working with on your very first release. What do you use nowadays?
Which I went to right after the MPC. Reason.
And haven't stopped since.
Never.
Yeah.
DJ Sirius built a computer for me so that I could run Pro Tools. And when he built it, he's like, yo, I put on this program called Reason for you. I was like, okay, cool, right? Well, I was all like, fuck it, MPC is all I know, da-da-da. But then, zip disks.
Yeah, I know that life.
And the click of death.
You know
what I mean? Yeah. So I lost a whole like the freshest batch of beats that I had made, and I was like, yo, fuck.
If you don't lose a bag of beats as a producer, you haven't started yet. You haven't started.
Yeah, you haven't started.
You're just going.
Well, nowadays it's
harder.
It's avoidable.
But
now.
you still lose. You still. I've still lost beats even just on changing laptops.
Oh yeah,
that's where I've lost. Or I have them. They're in like on a disk drive somewhere, but basically lost.
Yeah.
But
man, I do everything in Reason now. Record everything, like.
Oh, see.
You know what I mean?
Never used.
Like, I had a full studio. You remember I had a full studio at one point. Everything was out of Reason still.
I tried to fool around with Reason one time. It looked complex.
Yeah, because it's like you're using the actual racks. Like
man, complex. I feel like I had to go to school.
That's what I'm saying. But now, like, it's changed so much. Like, you can use the VSTs in it and everything.
I heard that.
It's got its own sequencer or its own like timeline and every shit.
Everything is easier, man. Yeah. Everything.
I tried fucking with Logic for a bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then like, what else? I had Machine like super early on. I just couldn't get into it. You know what I mean?
So, to both of you guys, consider since talking about the equipment being used and from the MPC, we all use the MPC. I pretty much started on the MPC too, and now we're using the DAWs and so forth. Is it too easy now? Like, is it too easy to make beats? That you're generic. I'll tell you. You remember Kasaki, Finn?
Yeah.
Back in the day, we used to record. This is like what, 15 years ago?
Something like that. Yeah.
We used to record at his studio, and one day he said to me, "One day anybody could rap." And I took offense at the time. Right. Like, what do you mean? No, not anybody can rap. You're crazy. It's like, no, anybody can rap. You just got to learn the basics to do it. You may not be good, but you could do it. That's how I feel about production at this point.
At this point?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But literally anybody could do it.
But it takes talent to be actually good at it, though. I don't think just practice would work for everybody when it comes to making beats.
Here's the thing.
Just like with rapping.
Okay.
Exactly. If there's no soul in it, there's no soul in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, and you feel that. Like, fuck, I saw a documentary one time, and a guy was like, the difference between good music and great music is good music is good. Yeah. Great music, you feel it. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
But that goes with any of these, because I'm from DJing too.
Yeah.
Right.
Just because there's Serato doesn't mean every DJ is good. Doesn't matter how.
This is true. Yeah. But I think I'm not even talking about, like you said, great music. I'm talking about what could be considered.
I mean, listen.
Good music.
Here's the thing. You know what? Anybody could make beats, man. Yeah. I could teach my father, who's a 60-something-year-old white man, to make beats. You know what I mean? You could teach anybody, and like the way technology moves now, you buy a Mac, it comes with GarageBand. You can make beats.
Yeah.
You got shit like Splice. You got stuff like the drum kits, man. Like that to me is fucking insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I'm even saying that it made the talent pool a lot more shallow. Like, you're everybody can make beats and not everybody's going to be good. But now that so many people can make it, it's so much more people that can be good.
Yeah.
I agree.
Even the playing field.
Oversaturated.
But that goes with everything that, as far as technology goes.
Yeah.
From DJs to rappers, like, it just evens the playing field.
Photography, videography, everything.
But the cream of the crop still rises.
There was no way in hell I could have been a videographer, a freelance videographer for a living in the 90s.
My God.
Right. Yeah.
I remember you had to carry the reel around with you.
Or at least the small tapes.
And the big old cameras and the equipment that you'd have to haul.
No, but it's just like, where am I going to put all this content?
Yeah.
Like, what am I shooting every
Even that simply.
Exactly.
Well, that's why I guess it didn't really exist like that back in the day.
Like, you think about how hard it was back in the day, like a bomb squad, to take, 15 different samples and put them all in key and put them fucking,
Yeah.
Like, you could do that like that now. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, how hard that fucking be, man.
I wasn't doing that. I wasn't. That's why I never really became an engineer back then, because I looked at it like, that's way too much work.
Yeah.
It's way too much for me to learn. And the this and that. I don't want to learn all that.
But on the plus side, though, there's things that were literally impossible to do.
That you could do now.
That you could do now. Like even like with MPC or whatever, like some of these things that are in beats nowadays were literally impossible to do. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's give and take.
Yeah, hey man, listen man, I love the technology,
Trust
bro.
me,
Like,
I like it, man.
Like,
I like it. I come from, like I said, I come from DJing. I would never want to carry a crate again.
Yo, all that keep it real shit, man, gets you left behind, fam. Straight, you know what I mean? Like, I don't give a fuck with what you tell me. You know what I mean?
You gotta adapt.
It takes a lot of weight off you.
Like, yo, even just think about in the sense of like, you know, we're all from the era of digging, right?
Yeah.
Like, you think a kid's gonna go out now and fucking
buy records?
Like, even just to go digging to find shit that he doesn't even know about. In fact, you got YouTube, bro.
I don't even subscribe to that.
You know what I mean? Like,
I don't even subscribe to going out and digging. I'm not that guy either. So
it's so crazy.
I can't look at a young kid and
like,
tell
I still do
real?
it. Yeah, I love the shit out of it.
Yeah, you gotta.
Know what I mean?
But that's I think, and I understand cats from a certain era who loved going shopping for records and finding that rare sample and seeing certain a piano player on a certain thing and saying, that's that. I get that because I've collected comic books. I collected baseball cards and basketball cards. We all, you know what I mean? We all have that curator part in us, and that goes along with the art in you too, the soul part of it, like we're talking about. So I get that guy looking down at the YouTube diggers and saying, "Oh, you guys ain't working hard."
Ah, man, that shit is fucking whacked to me, man. That shit's played out now, man.
You do what you gotta
what I mean?
do.
Like, yo, imagine being a kid in these times. Imagine being 13 years old right now, being able to make beats the way they. That should be the best fucking shit ever, man. You know how much. You know what I had to go through to get a fucking EPS back in the day, man. Like. Straight, man. Like, I wish that was like that technology.
And that's why we went through it, so that they wouldn't have to. Right? It's literally that. We struggled with it, so now that there would be people who would think of easier ways to do it.
Now, all that being said, to the young listeners who are listening, man, there is something to be said about, like, the sound that an MPC 3000 has or an SP 1200 has. You know what I mean? Like the analog digital converters and shit like that. That's just all machinery that you'll never be able to get in this new technology. You know what I mean? And that's why that shit has a sound to it and everything else like that. So I definitely do understand the merit in that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if you've ever heard a real Rhodes 78 versus a fucking Rhodes plug-in, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying,
not even
right?
close to the same thing.
Yeah.
But if somebody practices long enough, whether they're shit or not, eventually they'll make beats. But I don't think it's easy to make beats, good beats. I don't think it's easy.
No, it's definitely not easy to make good beats.
Yeah.
But it also depends what you consider good.
No, but it's just like it's like it's a feeling. Like
and I think we're being specific to music. I think we're being specific to actual music with lyrics and songs and that type of stuff.
We're just talking about beats.
There are people who are just they're gonna make those beats for a commercial that doesn't have to be hot, quote unquote, and make a living off doing that. And they're still a producer. Yeah,
but it's still got to be pleasing. Like, even if it's not a genre that you listen to, you could still recognize good music.
I see what you're saying.
Whether you listen to it or not.
Right.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know
that is true. That is true. That's definitely true. Speaking of good music, I think we might as well jump right into it. The good old top 5.
Okay.
Top five. This week, last week we had Bozak and we did the top 5 Canadian producers.
Which I wish I could have been a part of that, but proceed.
We came up with a consolation alternative question: top 5 best Canadian beats of all time. Canadian and
so hold on.
Okay,
let me
Canadian or just Toronto.
I'd say Canadian.
Okay.
Let's go Canadian.
Because we had to put
Kino in there.
Kimo.
Sorry, Kimo.
Couple of West Coast guys, but is it like a Canadian producer made the beat or both? It's a Canadian song.
What do you mean, Canadian producer or Canadian artist?
Yeah.
Like, could it be like, let's just say for instance, like Kilo is 1,000 grams, the Moss beat for Ghostface. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
That could be,
or does it have to be a Canadian artist rapping on the beat? Because then the list might go too far. Because you could just any boy wonder beat.
We're gonna shave it down to just Canadian produced songs with Canadian artists.
Okay.
So Canadian, both artist and producer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then the list, you could literally put anything on.
All right, I'm on it.
Damn, that takes because when he said the 1,000
Concrete
grams.
Mob, Boiling Point.
Oh yeah, that's a heavy,
probably one of my favorite beats.
Yeah, it's one of the heaviest
times.
It's
yeah.
No order, people. As you guys know, top five. We're not doing no order.
Right,
shot for shot. So, Point Blank, Boiling Point. Who's Scam?
Yeah, Scam made that beat.
Scam made that beat. Legendary heavy. Even that beat, Kicks. We were at they opened up for Cool G Rap.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When that song came on, like, no offense, fellas, shout out to y'all. I didn't care until that song came on.
Right,
and when the beat came on, I even forgot it was them
that
did that song until the beat came on, and I was like,
Yo, let me tell you a quick funny story, man. I told this on my podcast, Views Before the Six, shameless plug.
Oh, we really get to that?
We'll get to that. Hey, I'm shameless, man. Yeah, come on, you know me already, fam. But yo, I was in fucking Cozumel. I was in Playa del Carmen taking a ferry to Cozumel, like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I fell asleep with my iPods in. My homeboy tells me, he goes, what are you listening to? When I woke up, I'm like, yo, it's Concrete Boiling Point. Man said I was dead asleep, like snoring. Said, all of a sudden, he just seen me. Head nodding, like straight head nod myself awake. Incarceration, illegit, occupation, yo. And I was like, yo, what are you listening to? I'm like, Boiling Point, fam.
Yeah, that
woke
bass.
me straight. I mean, one of my favorite beats ever.
It's heavy.
Okay, go. Who's next?
Finn hit it.
I'll put Ghetto Concept, Easy on the Motion.
That's a heavy beat.
Bob. Yeah.
That saxophone or whatever that is.
Oh, the heavy.
We talk with Swift, rest in peace, Swift, on our podcast about him making that beat. Yeah, you can check that out.
That was Swift. You know, I thought it was Addict that made that. For some reason.
Or sorry, it might have been. There's an Attic episode too, by the way.
Yeah. Shameless plugs all over this. Yeah.
But they made it. That was off of cassette, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds lo-fi.
Heavy though, heavy.
All right, who's you?
Mine is Action. Socrates.
Oh, he made that beat too, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
That guitar, just the way that. I love that beat. And then the drum, there's no bass on that song, if I remember correctly. It's probably from the drum, but if I remember correctly, there's no bass line. So it's just the guitar, probably the low notes on the guitar and the drum itself that make it sound like there's bass, but I don't think there's a bass.
Oh, okay.
Heavy. I'll have to hear it again.
Yeah. In Socrates, keeping in Socrates fashion, Skunk by Chalk Clear and Corrupt.
Oh, okay, I remember that one. Now you said Corrupt.
I remember this. I do remember
that's
the song.
It's one of my favorite beats still, man.
Skunk. And he made that too?
And Socrates made that still.
Skunk.
It's a Chalk Clear song.
Yeah, it's a Chalk Clear song.
Oh, yeah. It's very West Coast.
Blake yes.
When you be young in the funk. Yeah, I remember that song. Yeah.
Yo, such an ill beat, man.
All right, so I'll add to the Socrates.
Okay.
Because I remember, I'm a little bit younger than you guys, but I remember listening to 88.1 Saturday afternoon and then playing, the Mastermind playing fucking Father Time.
Oh.
Yeah. But that's Dave. Lee Fredericks made that beat.
He's not Canadian?
No, he's Canadian. Yeah, he's from Toronto. Okay,
that's one of the heaviest. That, and to me, like, it's one of the most instantly recognizable beats too. As soon as it comes on, that and Boiling Point, those two.
And it's so simple.
It's so simple. Heavy.
Yeah, man. But sometimes the simplest beats are the greatest, right?
If I remember correctly, Flex pulled that up a few times on his show back in the days. If I remember correct, that was the story anyway. An Attic beat for sure. No, I'm saving that one.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that one. Let's Ride is Chalk Clear.
Yeah, that was on my list.
Yeah.
One of my and they have a little story behind that beat. That beat was produced by Cardinal. And back in the days, me and Cardinal used to go to York together. And I wanted to get a beat from him back in them days. So he came to my house, him and Wylook, if you remember Wylook.
Yeah, 100%.
And he's playing me beats, and that was one of the beats he played, the Let's Ride beat. I was like, yo, I want that. And he's like, Chalk Clear just took it. I was like, man, that beat's crazy. And then months later, I hear Let's Ride, big tune. And Cardinal is one of the underrated producers in this scene.
My next pick is a Cardinal joint that he did for Chalk Clear 2. One of the illest beats, Flagrant.
Wait, Cardinal did that? What do you think they did that?
No, Cardi did that beat.
That beat is nuts.
Phenomenal.
Too.
Yo, one of the, once again, top 5 Toronto.
Yeah, that beat's 100%. Nuts too.
Yeah. Let me see. I had Let's Ride on the list. One of the most different beat. Speaking of Cardinal again, freaking Old Time Killing.
Yeah, that was the one I was gonna say.
That's the most different. That's right up my lane right there.
Apparently, that was an interlude on his beat tape when Cardinal picked it. Like, it wasn't
I
a
heard
real
that
beat.
story too.
Was he saying? Did he say that on your podcast? Because I've heard that more than once, but I did hear that. Like, it was a throwaway for him, and Cardinal picked it. He had to.
And he heard it. They were listening to beats, and he heard it off of the phone or something like that. He's like, "Yo, what is that? Reel that back.
Yeah, reel
that back."
That came out heavy, man. That was again around the time when me and Cardinal were going to school together, and I remember when that came out, I was like, "Yo, God, you made it, bro." That's the truth right there. For me, Big Brass Monk.
Big beat. Yeah.
Is it Sox that made that? No, it was
Agile,
I believe.
Right.
No, that's Attic. It's Attic again.
Oh, that's right. It is Attic again. You're right. It is Attic.
That's right.
Right. Yeah.
Big is what I feel like we're staying in one time, so I'm trying to think of some.
Yo, if that's what it is.
But those are those that
see, now,
kicking,
that's funny that you say that. Yeah. Because I'm coming to current, man.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, Off the Pigs by the Freedom Riders, Sprox. Yo,
have I heard that?
Sprox is a one-man fucking bomb squad on that beat still, though. And it's funny because when you guys did the Canadian, his name didn't come up, and like I would 100% say he's one of the best producers.
He's definitely
from the city, 100%.
Definitely, I think Sprox moves quietly, but not so. Like if you know, type thing.
Right.
But he's not like a Murder Beats 40 Boy Wonder. But he's doing a whole lot of work just under that level of those guys. I think that's why he got overlooked. Yeah, you're right. I gotta apologize. I didn't even thought of Sprox when we had that discussion.
Right. I would say that for sure.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Finn? This is another very simple beat, but it's probably one of the most iconic Toronto, 90s golden era songs. Hate Runs Deep.
Oh, word. Yes, 100%.
One of my favorites, again. That's a heavy one. Oh, man, that's a heavy one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very simple, too.
Yeah, very simple.
Break beat, sample.
Yeah.
Call it a day.
Yeah. Who, that Sox? Or is that Marvel?
That made that beat?
Yeah. I feel like it sucks, though.
I'm not 100%.
I feel like it sucks.
I would say it was Sox.
I feel like it sucks, but I'm 100% either. In that same vein, Marvel, Throw That Ball.
Oh, great beat.
Oh, I love that beat.
Great beat.
And that's another simple beat.
Stop now.
Another simple beat. Throw this ball up against the wall. Yeah, youngins, you might be left, but go look these songs up, man.
Don't worry, I got some for the youngins out of left field for my next one.
Next one is going to be even older. Never mind. I can't let you.
Like, I'm really trying to think, because there are a ton of dope
definitely
Drake beats.
And that's the thing about this list. It's not really my top 5. It's just what I can think of right now.
Top 5.
Okay. I'm like, these are my top 5 beats, man. You know what I mean? If Heaven Was a Mile Away.
Oh, that beat's great.
Now,
yeah, but that's a Nas song.
No, but it's a Julie Black song.
Too.
It's on a Julie Black album.
Okay.
Yeah,
right? Yeah, so, without Nas on it still.
Okay.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yo, that is... Shout out to Agile. That's definitely one of my favorite beats.
That beat's crazy.
Still, man.
That is
what
I
mean?
I
know
that
sample.
It was Agile that made that either. I think I thought it was Socrates again. Yeah, Socrates gets so much credit.
That's what I'm saying, but there's so many guys, man, you know?
Yeah. Agile is one of the dopest producers our city's seen for sure.
Right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
What was that? That's 4 for you? Or is that 5?
That's 5.
That's 5.
Okay. Finn?
This is one song that I played a lot. It's not even a hip hop song. It's fucking, we were talking about last, Blem.
Heavy tune.
That song, I don't know what something about that song. I played that song.
Who's that though?
That's T minus.
Is that T minus? Yeah.
That's T minus.
Heavy tune. That's one of those. It is a feel good. Like as soon as you hear it, you feel a certain type of.
It sounds authentic.
Yeah,
like, you know, there's a lot of these people doing these like dancehall, fucking fake tropical house bullshit. But that sounds like Toronto. It sounds like Toronto.
Yeah. My last one is Rich Kid.
Oh.
It's not. I always
The one with Socrates
Socrates and
Nelly Furtado?
Daytona. No, Socrates, Daytona, and
Soaring
Rain.
to
Soaring to heaven.
Oh,
Yo,
yeah.
I love that beat.
That
man.
was hard. That was hard.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
King Rain. Rest in peace, King Rain, man. Yo.
Rest in peace, King Rain.
That whole EP is dope because there's an
Yeah.
Ill Boy Wonder beat on that EP too, man.
Is that Rain's EP? I mean,
Yeah, that's
King
Rain,
Rain's?
man. That was the Audacity of Hope, man.
He also has another song as one of my honorable mentions, like his first song.
Who that?
King Rain. The
Looking for Love.
Looking for Love.
Yeah,
I
man. So
fucking
ill, man.
love that tune. And it's one verse, no chorus.
I mean, yeah, dude. There's like, as
That guy
my
was super
mind starts
talented,
racing,
but-
there's so many
Yeah,
that
there's so many.
you think of, man.
So
You know,
many.
but yeah.
Yeah.
It's so crazy, man. Because even like you said, with the new stuff, man, like the Drake
Yeah.
stuff, some of them beats are ill, man.
Murder beats and friggin', all
Yeah,
these.
man.
Yeah, we're definitely leaving a lot of cats
Yeah,
out.
it's only
But that's where you guys come in and you give us your top 5 next time we do this. Because, like we say, even by tomorrow, our top 5 changes. So
Right,
these,
right,
these
right.
topics
Mine
is
already,
going to
mine already probably changed.
Right? Exactly.
So let us know what your top 5 is, and then it might become our top 5. And listen to some of our top 5 because it might become your top 5. But that's the top 5. That's the top 5. But it's okay. So speaking of, seeing as how a lot of that was about the Socrates, the circle, and the older school, what I like to call the golden era of Canadian hip hop. Was around that point.
Yeah.
To me.
It was around the golden age of
Around
hip
that
hop period.
Ghetto Concept,
Mid-90s.
yeah.
Red Life,
Red Life,
YOK, the whole circle,
Monolith,
Amano, yeah.
all these guys were coming around along with your producers. Your same Socrates, your same Agile, your Brass Monks.
You know who gets left out of the conversation? I feel a lot is Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Definitely, because
Yeah.
that could have easily been in my top 5. The brain is gone, man.
That's true.
The xylophone beat, boom, boom.
That is
boom,
true.
Boom,
He
right?
made a lot of shots, back
that's
in
what I'm
those
saying,
days.
man. Like,
His production was pretty on point.
And that's what's funny, man. Like, a lot of people really don't know that, man. Like,
Yeah.
in doing the podcast and stuff, man. Like, a lot of people really don't know their history here, man. Like,
That's what I'm going to get into. Is
Right.
that why you started your podcast?
100%.
Your podcast,
man.
Views Before the 6.
Views Before the 6,
Yeah.
me and Thrust.
Right.
Okay.
Right? You know what I mean? So basically what happened was when Drake dropped Views,
Yeah.
he
Which
makes
was supposed to be
that
Views from the
reference
6.
about Jellystone.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So people are like, "Oh, yo, who's this Jellystone guy?" And da-da-da. And I'm like, "Yo, you guys don't know who Jellystone is, man? Yo, Money was a bop. You know
Big
what I
tune.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
at that time, too, like, you know what I'm saying?
And that was 40 that made that, no? No, that was Too Rude.
I don't know if Too Rude made
it
that
Too
beat still.
Too Rude, also another underrated guy.
So I'm like, okay. Then like the next day or two or something, I'm like on Twitter and I see some kids like, "Oh, yo, why is this guy trying to steal the Skepta slang, like the patois and shit, da-da-da." And I'm like, and this was a kid from Toronto. And I'm like, "Yo, fam, okay, listen, I can understand if you don't know who Mishi Me is, but yo, Cardi, like, Toronto been doing that style from time."
That's
So
not new.
at that day when it happened, Thrust just so happened to come over because at them times I had the studio.
Right.
He was just over at the studio chilling, whatever, blazing. And I'm like, yo, man, these kids don't even know their own history, man. It's fucking sad. People think hip hop didn't happen until like Cardi, Dangerous, and then Drake. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much.
There's a rich history in this.
Yeah.
Very rich.
Very rich,
Very
man.
rich.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
But yeah.
so,
A lot of those guys we named are big parts of it. Big parts.
yeah,
Of it.
yeah.
So from you and Thrust, well, you just sat down and you said, "Hey, we should start a podcast."
So I had the studio. I'm like, I literally, just like this, I'm like, yo, boom, boom, turn on the 2 mics.
Yeah.
Yo, we did the little so if you go and listen, like episode 0 is like a little 15-minute episode of me and him just coming up, like just talking out the idea of doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then from there, it was like, okay, yo, let's tell the history. Now, originally, we kind of wanted to do it chronologically, but had we done that, it would have taken forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
You know how it goes,
Yeah,
right?
that's
You know what I
damn near
mean?
impossible.
So, but we did, you know, like if you go and you listen, like the first episode's Bronski and DTS, right? From Power Move Show, longest running college radio show in North America. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Still going in,
right? Still going, right? And then we had, was it Sunshine Sound Crew after that?
Was that a second one?
Might have been, you know what I mean?
Somewhere in there.
But yeah, man, like, and that's so basically that's the focus. Like, we sit down, we talk, we discuss the history of Toronto hip hop, man.
So you make a point of getting guests that are from a previous era. So for before this, literally the 60s.
Well, I mean, like, listen, we're all from Toronto. We're all of an age, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we know that you can almost say that there's a divide when it started becoming the six and the six and man's weren't calling it T-Dot no more. You know what I mean? There's like a divide. You know what I mean? So that's what it was. Views before the six. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's, I don't know, both of you guys. There's like a break between the Socrates and the Drake. Like you said, Cardinal and I guess Chaos
you
and Kanon
say
were
that.
in there.
You say that
In an overground sense.
In an overground sense,
like
sure.
in an outside of Canada view.
Right. There was like Northern Touch, and then there was like Chaos was making his box.
Yeah.
And then like
Kanon was
Chaos I don't feel like Chaos really crossed over to the US as much. He was more an overseas.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
I can see that. I can see what you're saying.
International act, more so than
like in the Dream Warriors sense.
Yo, bro, I remember when Dangerous came out, man, the Cardi joint.
Yeah.
And like I remember being in New York at that time, and it was fucking just everywhere, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that was a big tune for that summer.
Akon was hot them times.
Yeah, exactly. That was all of them were hot. Like the whole label was pretty much hot.
Yeah.
Okay. So where do you see Toronto music now?
I mean, it sounds arrogant to say it, man, but like, who's better than us right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially production-wise. We're killing it.
You know what? Okay, and this is a production, like, more so production podcast. Like, really, who's talking to Toronto right now? Yeah. Between Boy Wonder, T-Minus, Murder Beats, right there. You can't, that's...
Yeah, they probably had the top 5 biggest songs, period, last year.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Like, and probably the year before that.
And probably the year before that, because Boy Wonder did that Rihanna joint, Work.
Yeah.
And then this year he did God's Plan, which is one of the biggest songs. And Murder Beats did Nice for What.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, they're
kicking down doors.
Yeah, for sure. I think Boy Wonder's definitely top 3 in the game probably right now. Just like overall producers.
100%,
Frank
man.
Dukes,
100%.
Frank Duke is up there too.
Frank Dukes is a guy who doesn't get enough bly either. You know what I mean?
When we were talking about Sprox, I was thinking of Frank Dukes is in the same vein. They're both doing a whole lot, but it's just slightly under the radar.
No, I think Dukes is more above the radar.
By now, that's probably true.
It's 2 different playing fields between those 2 guys, but like, man, honestly, I love it. You know me. I've always rode for Toronto. You know what I mean? Like, I've always been a home team guy. You know what I mean? I always want to see Toronto win. Is the music for me? Not particularly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I love seeing these guys doing their thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Straight. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's amazing.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Hold on. And then you couple in guys like The Weeknd.
Yes.
And Bieber.
And
who he's not really
Caesar.
from Toronto, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Daniel Caesar.
What's that girl too?
Jesse Reyes.
Yeah, Jesse Reyes is going
Come
crazy.
on, man. Toronto's doing its thing right now, man.
And coming from a time of us growing up where it was I can't even say it looked near impossible. It was impossible. We looked at that as it was impossible.
Yo, man, for years, and I'm telling you, for years. Remember, back in the day, there used to be a website called hiphopcanada.com.
Yeah.
Yo, we used to do an online radio show, and I'm talking early 2000s. This is before, like, really early on. I only used to play all Canadian hip-hop.
Gladstone what?
That's right. Yeah. And I only played Canadian hip-hop because that was an homage to Swift, the Born Swift.
Scene.
because he used the original Project Bounce when it was before 88.
Project Bounce.
Before 89.5. It was at a little Portuguese radio station. I think it was like 88.5 or something like that, right? Anyways, they used to do an all-Canadian hip-hop show called Plug Tune In. And that's what made... And I loved that shit because... You always want to rep for the home, the home squad. If your own city doesn't believe in you, who the fuck else will?
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
That's a fact. And you start from there.
And that's what it was. It was like an homage to him, man. And still to this day, man, like I only buy Canadian records now and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's like I love seeing the city win, man.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Home team all the way.
Because we are from a time where no one gave up, really gave a fuck. Like, not even. If it wasn't your squad, it wasn't important.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Okay, even before that, before Ghetto Concept said Rexdale, nobody was doing. You weren't allowed to say you were from Toronto. It was like a bad thing. Until those years, again, what I call the golden years, you weren't saying you were a Toronto rapper. You were saying you moved from New York to Toronto.
But you still see some of these kids fronting out the American money in the videos and stuff like that. It's like, it's cool to be from Toronto now. It's cool, man.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's all right, man. You know?
Let's let it go. Who would you say was one of your favorite artists to work with?
Wow. So many guys. Theo 3. Yeah. Probably Frankie Payne. Frankie Payne was a breeze to work with. I like the guys that are easy to work with. You know what I mean? Theo 3, that's a lie, man. He's a fucking pain, man. He's a very particular guy, but he made me a better producer for that.
Scene.
You know what I'm saying? Like his particularness and all that kind. I had to learn shit, how to do stuff. You know what I mean? So shout out to Theo for that.
Scene.
There's so many guys, man. Adam Bomb.
Scene.
Who's one of my favorite people ever. You know what I mean? So, a ton of those guys, man.
Dope.
Scene. Okay. I'm drawing a blank. Finn, bail me out with a question. I'm drawing a blank.
So we were talking about classic albums and what do you guys think is the criteria for a classic album?
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys talked about this, right?
Yes.
In one of the other episodes.
We tried. Yeah.
Okay, so here's my theory on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, I fucking hate the term instant classic.
Yeah, no such thing.
It doesn't agree.
Because it's an oxymoron,
doesn't
right?
Exist.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, everything's an instant classic
now.
A classic, by definition, has to withstand the test of time.
Yeah.
So how much time are we talking?
So wait, hold on. So what do you think is the most recent classic album that you could think of? The most recent classic album.
Most recent classic album?
Yeah.
I would probably off the top of my head, I'm gonna say 50 Get Rich or Die Trying.
That far back?
Yeah.
That's the most recent
classic album?
That's 15 years ago, bro.
Yeah, man. Because it stood the test of time.
Okay, and that's why I said
you can still listen to that.
What's the time?
Yeah, what's the test of time?
How long does it have to be for you?
Because I feel like you could.
I feel what you're saying. I feel like
you could predict that it would stand the test of time. If it's
for me, like 444 is a classic.
Okay.
Jay-Z.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the most recent solidified.
Classic.
It's a solidified classic to me right now.
Okay. I get where you're going with that.
I don't have an answer. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it's real tough, man.
And it is individual at the same time.
I would say probably like, Good Kid, Mad City.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a recent classic.
Forest Hills is a classic.
Yeah, I'll put that there.
Yeah.
J. Cole.
Yeah.
Forest Hills.
That's his
best
album.
The one before that, the Born Sinner.
But Forest Hills kind of blew that one out the water.
More so.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And
See,
the thing about classic too, it can't be like, it's a classic to me. It's got to be general consensus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because then it's not a classic. Then it's
like
just
we say,
Off
the Wall is a classic album. You can't deny that. You know what I'm saying?
What, Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's got to be undeniable.
Even
classic,
if you don't like per se, you might not personally like it.
See, and that's why I say like because it's got to be the masses.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Declare.
So now would the masses take in a Forest Hill? No. Like the Joe Average? You go ask Joe Average who 50 Cent is. They know who 50 Cent is.
No, but I think more people know. I think more people know about J. Cole than you would think.
Right.
This is also true. But I also see what he's saying. It's not.
See, now here's the thing. Like I feel like once again, if I were to go ask my dad if he knew who J. Cole was, no. If I went to go ask my dad who Kendrick Lamar is, he might know who Kendrick is.
And he definitely knows who Drake is.
100%.
Okay, but then that brings it into a different point. If we're putting it in that context.
But hold on, that also it might be why they know him though.
Fair enough.
Because if he doesn't know him by music, media, even if your dad doesn't know 50 Cent song, but he knows who 50 Cent is.
And I don't also think that it has to necessarily be. See, when you guys say masses, I don't know how big those masses have to be.
Right.
Because, okay, for example, like Solange's the last album, not the one that just came out, the Seat at the Table.
Yeah.
That's a classic, and I don't know if it's a popular album.
But the thing is,
fair enough. Okay,
I think from the majority of people that listen to it, they'll probably agree that that's a classic.
Right, but I still don't think you're.
It's hard to
I don't think even my dad knows what that album is.
No. But you got to think, it's still over 1 million people know about the album. You know what I mean? Regardless of how big or small we're talking about. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even like what I would say would be coming close. It's too soon to call it, but like even like Tana Talk, the Benny album.
Yeah.
Right.
That's probably going to be considered a classic down the line. Right, you know what I mean? And not a lot of people have heard it in the grand scheme of things. You know what I mean?
See, but here's the thing. A classic to us, right? 100%. But to...
Your Joe Smo.
A 15 to 20-year-old, is that a classic to them?
No, because we can't really...
Right?
It's got to be by the demographic that's listening
and it's
to
generational.
It. You ask a 15-year-old right now about Illmatic, he'll look at you like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's obviously still a classic.
Even Thriller, some of them wouldn't know.
Then do you have to throw in like the Migos albums and the...
But okay, this is what I was...
classics conversation, because they're classics in their own right.
No, but we...
I was about to say something.
You get what I'm saying?
This is what I was going to say to you guys.
Like, I don't particularly listen to Bieber, but he's making classic albums for the genre in which he makes them.
And having said that generational effect, it also affects the timeline, too. Devil's advocate, I agree that an album should be not a certain amount of years old, but it should be old enough for us to look back at it and say, okay, it's still that good.
For sure.
But these kids, their music is so disposable. If an album is good for a month, that's like our 10 years. or even our year. Their 1 month is our year.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
crazy,
we
right?
won't,
How fast
we won't
down,
look
man.
at it as classic because it's dead. But to them, it's because it's classic because it's dead and gone, and they're still listening to it.
But
month later,
I think because of that, there's going to be less classics. Period.
Real ones.
Even in their opinion, there's not really a lot of classics by that definition.
I think what happens is you get to a very specific classic, or it's more favorites than classics. So if you're a fan of that person, because first of all, there's so much music. Not the masses, quote unquote, can't listen to everything together.
Exactly. So that's why
So you're just gonna pick it for a certain group is gonna say.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm
this
saying.
is
It's got to be by that demographic.
Right.
Like we don't listen to Justin Bieber, so we don't know if he has any classic albums.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just like we don't necessarily listen to Migos. I don't know if Culture is a classic.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It might be.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
It might be, but as far as like the stuff that we know about and the stuff that we listen to, then it's got to be a certain demographic of people that would undoubtedly say yes, that album's a classic.
See, but here's the thing. Like I think like for some reason, as we were talking about, like I think about an album like Starboy from The Weeknd.
Yeah,
like that's a classic album. You know what I mean? Like that had so many huge fucking songs on it, and that would be like 20 years from now, we'll still be listening to it. You could still throw that on.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's got to be. I feel like I would say 5 years at least. If we have to put a number on it, we got because that just came out 2-3 years ago. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, we don't know if it's gonna stand the test time. It probably will. It probably will because it's that kind of music. But it's hard to say without saying it for sure. You know.
You do right. You do have to wait to see.
I agree. It has to. You can't. Something can't be out for a week and you call it a classic.
Yeah. No.
You know, like. But I get what you're saying also too. Like you really did strike the nail, right? Like to these kids now, a week is a fucking year. You know what I mean? Like,
but at the same time,
terms,
I'm not sure when they become 30 and 35, 40, are they still going to feel the same way about the music that they thought was a classic in a month?
Right.
I don't think so because
right.
in comparison to us, they have way more music to choose from.
Right.
So the general consensus is going to vary because it's like everybody listened to Michael Jackson because that's what was popping at the time. There wasn't 13 albums coming out that day because, I'm not dropping the same day as Michael Jackson. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Michael Jackson, the Stones, the Beatles.
I was going to say that. That's also that's why the demographics is going to be such of an impact because we grew up listening to so many different genres because we had to. We didn't have a choice. So we know that Legend by Bob Marley is a classic. We know that whatever, Walk the Straight Line is a classic. Well, these classic albums, Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet, because we had to listen to them.
Well, it's funny because I don't remember what I was listening to where somebody's like, yo, you had to... Maybe it was this podcast where you're saying you had to... You had to watch much music. You had to watch 20 fucking videos just to see one hip-hop video. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you have to watch a YouTube video, a Madonna video, Aerosmith video... And then you might see a Maestro Fresh West video. You know what I mean?
Now I just have to type it in a search engine and I'll watch whichever video I want.
I love it, man.
It's great. It's great. Right? I was actually reading an article the other day, or somebody posted. Was it you that posted that article saying that Much Music is no longer playing videos?
No, it wasn't me, but that's
Theo.
It's ludicrous.
Somebody did that, and they're planning to play less, and everybody's like,
"Oh, they still play?
Yeah, like, who knows if they play videos?
That's insane, right?
They do still play.
If they play videos, it might be one show.
No, I doubt they play.
And I don't even think they do.
I haven't had cable in a long time.
There you have it again.
I couldn't tell.
No, you know what? Because I have Fibe.
Right
now, they have different channels to play.
Do they still have like the vintage channel and stuff like that?
They'll have that and the kids channel and the recess and all. They have different channels to play videos through the same network, but it's not.
It wouldn't
from
make any
much
sense.
music.
It wouldn't make any sense
because the MTV doesn't even play videos no more. Who plays videos?
You get more. It would be probably more expensive. You probably make more money off of YouTube than.
You know what I was just about to say? I don't know if anybody's ever thought of this,
video.
but business idea. It would be very smart to start a YouTube music channel, video channel.
Yeah, they have those.
Like a video where somebody's hosting.
Not hosting it, but like
literally bring Much Music to YouTube is what I'm saying.
Nah, I don't think it would work. No, because it defeats the whole on-demand element.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, what am I waiting for you to get the number 5 for? I'm like, fuck you. I'm gonna
watch what video I want to watch, right? Exactly.
Microwave era, my bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It's so crazy, man.
So what are you listening to now? These days, besides mathematics.
A lot of Griselda.
Oh, of course, yes.
You know what I mean? Like that whole, El Camino.
They just dropped yesterday.
Yeah, that's right.
I haven't listened to that yet. I have to listen to that.
What else did I listen to recently? Marco Polo Master Ace album.
I never took it in.
No,
I took in the Smith & Wesson album.
I listened to that the other day. I just got a Spotify. Like I just finally got a Spotify. Account.
That's why I'm listening to Offset because I got Apple Music. It's like let me just it pops up. I'm like let me just listen.
So what else have I've been listening to, man? Like all the Benny stuff. Like a lot of Griselda, man. A lot of Griselda.
You buy any of the vinyl?
Nah, because I only collect Canadian hip hop.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I've been listening to the guys you guys run with, like Daniel Son, A-Son Eastwood. Yeah. Those guys I think are really dope. Still,
shout out to them boys.
Shout out.
What else, man? I'm really trying to think of new stuff. Well, it's not really new, but the Currency and Alchemist and
Freddie Gibbs
album.
Good album.
Very good album.
Listening to. Yeah,
so
man.
do you find that
Buddy, do you know who Buddy is?
I heard the name before.
Buddy, yeah. He's like, I've seen him like in pics with Pharrell, and like he's dope. He's from I think he's from Compton, but he's definitely from LA. But he's dope still, man. Really
never
dope.
heard of him, Buddy. So do you find your musical tastes are pretty much been the same for the last 10, 15, 20 years?
But with come on, we all make beats. So in that, it's all over the place. You know what I mean? Like I listen to everything. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true.
But for the most part, like as I said, I'm listening to the Griselda stuff and like the Alchemist stuff because it's all what I enjoy, like that boom bappy, sample driven stuff. You know what I mean? I like stuff with no samples and stuff. You know what I mean? Speaking
of that, speaking of your production, sorry, I hit the mic. Speaking of your production, what's your method? Like, how do you set up to go produce?
Oh my god!
Burn your spliff. What are you doing? Hit a line of coke?
Different day. Every beat is a different scenario, right?
Okay.
So, but every beat, I'm burning blunts before I go to make beats more times than not. So. If I'm sampling records, it depends on if I went digging. If I've gone digging, then I have a pile of records I'm going to go through to see if I find something.
Yeah.
Or...
How often do you do that?
I still dig, I don't know, let's just say once every couple months now. Like I'll go on a serious little dig, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But I might find something on Discogs, you know what I mean? Or, what I started doing now is because I have the Spotify account. I'll go dig it on Spotify, man. Find some samples, make myself a little playlist.
Yep.
Come home, hook it up to... Because I still use the MP just for sampling. So even though I use Reason, I should have prefaced that. I sample everything into my 2500, usually chop up, then dump into Reason and go from there.
Okay.
So, or sometimes I'll just straight use Reason and Serato sample.
Okay.
Right? So, so there's that method.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But because I do a lot of, I've been trying to do a lot more TV and commercial stuff.
Yeah.
I've been making sampleless beats now.
Okay.
Quite more frequent.
I've been trying.
Yeah.
I'm slowly getting there, but a lot of the stuff that I make that doesn't have a sample is like it has a trap feel to it. It's hard for me to make a boom bap beat without a sample because I feel like I'm not getting the soul.
Yo, are any of you guys using Splice at all or no?
No, we haven't.
No.
I think Splice.com?
Snoop suggested that to us too.
Yo, it's crazy, man. Like it's pretty crazy. Like there's tons of samples there. You know what I mean? Like you need a horns, boom, you go and grab yourself a horns. So sometimes I'll just go on Splice, grab some shit, chop it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do all that stuff.
And it's like a membership thing, right?
Yeah. Or you buy credits or some shit like that. You pay like $10.99 to get a certain amount of credits. And, each download is a credit or 2 credits or whatever. You know what I mean? So there's that. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to do this like TV and commercial stuff, so it's got to be royalty free and da-da-da.
I want to go back to that. How did you get into the... Because that's an area of production or beat making that a lot of us, especially hip-hop community, don't think about doing.
Originally, I got into it because... Do you remember Jay Stacks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who also is supposed to come on this show. He's just hit me up saying he wants to be a guest on it.
Dope. I used to make beats for Stacks.
Yeah.
And we did a joint that was in a CBC movie.
Scene.
Right? So that's how I originally got into it.
That was was that a Doomstown movie?
Yeah, it was Doomstown.
It was Doomstown?
Yeah, my homeboy scored Doomstown.
Okay.
So when my homeboy scored Doomstown, I kind of like took a little bug to that and wanted to do it from there.
Scene.
So then there was fucking, remember on Rogers they had the AUX, the Ox channel?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was a show called West 49 Ambition Skate Camp. It was a skateboard skateboard reality TV show.
Okay.
Did a whole bunch of shit for that. You know what I mean? And then there's a company, it's called taximusic.com. So you sign up for a membership. This is how I originally got into it, right? Yeah. You sign up for a membership, they send you cues like, yo, we're looking for this, we're looking for that. You pay to submit your cues, $5, and then they review it, and then so from there, I had shit that got through and a company wanted, and then you do business with that company, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean?
So it's been lucrative for you, like some good side hustle, so to speak.
You know what I mean? Hey, to me, anything is plenty, man.
That's
you know
a
what I
fact.
mean? Like, straight.
Especially if you like doing it.
I make beats because I love making beats. It's cliche, it's corny, whatever, but any money that comes from it to me is a bonus.
It's a fact.
Exactly.
You know what I
That's
mean?
exactly
Straight, you know?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So,
I mean, like I said, that's the area that a lot of us don't think about.
I mean, so that being said, if you're looking for a starting point, Taxi Music, man. You know what I mean? It's like, I think it's like $300 American to sign up for it.
Okay.
And then they send, like I said, they send me cues daily, bro.
Wow.
And if you're a good enough producer, that
So what's a cue?
A cue is like, so for instance, we're looking for a hip hop dramedy, like so something that would be on Love and Hip Hop type shit. You know what I mean? And they'll actually go as far as to send you examples, right? Like
of what they're looking
YouTube
for.
like clips. Like here, this is what we're looking for from 1 minute and 15 seconds to 1 minute and 47. The music that's playing, something like that is what we're looking for. So if you're a good enough producer, you're like, oh shit, I could do that.
Yeah.
So oddly enough, for me, I don't really make trap beats.
Yeah.
The shit that I always got picked up for me
Your
was my
trap
trap
stuff.
shit. I'd be like, yo, let me see if I can fucking do this shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, apparently you can.
And that's the stuff that gets picked up. You know what I mean?
It's actually making trap beats is fun, yo. It's like
I can see
it's,
that,
it's easy. Not to say it's anyone could do it, but it's easy and it's fun.
Yeah.
Because it's not really. I don't know. It's not
It's
as
a
much
light challenge.
It's not as much puzzle piece.
Yeah, I
not as
can
much
see that.
piecing shit together. It's just like playing.
Yeah. See, now here's the thing for me. I don't listen enough to it to understand. Like,
That's how I feel.
so
about
that's the
it.
thing.
how I
Like
feel
sometimes
about
I listen to it and break it down and like you know what I
Yeah.
mean, like, and understand the elements of it. But like, it's
Like I'll make a trap beat and I'm never confident that it's good.
Yeah.
Like these guys have to say, "Oh yeah, that's good."
Yeah.
Somebody else has
But
to
the
say it.
thing,
I'm never confident. That
all the trap beats that I actually listen to, for the most part, sometimes I like it, but for the most part, I'm listening because I want to hear the beat, like, or what, reverse engineer the beat in my head type of thing. You know what I mean?
try to figure out the sauce.
Yeah.
It is,
My problem is I can't figure out the 808s properly, man. Like,
I have a tough
like the way
time
they
with that too.
tune that shit, man.
I have
These
a
kids
tough
got
time
it
with
down
that
to
too.
a science now.
Yeah.
I love it, man. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a tough time.
Yeah, man.
That's the hardest part. That's definitely the hardest part. Like those rolling 808s and shit. Yeah, that shit sounds crazy.
So where's your BPM ratio right now? Where you
90. 90 is like always the starting point. You know what I mean? My range is like 85 to 100. You know what I mean? Like that's like my.
That's mine too.
You know what I mean? Like my range. But 90 is usually my starting point.
I made a beat yesterday. It was 65.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going lower. I don't. Not going higher. Going lower.
I'm around 75 to about 85.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
When's the last time either one of you guys made a beat you liked?
That I liked?
Yeah.
I think I made one yesterday that I don't mind.
See, it's funny. You came in and you're like, yo, I made 10 beats. I don't like any of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, it's not that I don't like any of them, but none of them are the one.
I'm just surprised he kept 10 beats. This guy's a dash.
And that's the thing. That's, you know what I mean?
All of them?
Yeah, they're decent, but none of them are like,
fire.
Yeah.
Well, in your opinion, I'm sure after this podcast, we're going to hear them like, what are you talking about, Finn?
Yeah.
Well,
or me too, because I didn't even bring them home. I left from the studio. I'm
That's
just like, yo,
good.
fuck
That's
this.
good.
I'll probably play them after, and I'll probably like all of them.
Yeah.
Which is why I kept them, you know?
I mean, I made a beat a while ago, like maybe about a month ago, that I honestly feel could be a fucking Anderson .Paak, like smash.
Serious.
You know what I mean? Like,
dope.
But you also know the way I make beats. Like, there's making beats and then there's producing songs. You know what I mean? Like, I have a beat right now that could be an Anderson .Paak fucking bop. You know
that you would
I
want to
mean?
produce.
Of course, yeah. You know how I stay, you know?
So what was your last release?
The last thing that would
Or the last couple things that you did? Just let the people know to look out for it.
The last thing that probably came out would have been there was a joint on the Trey, the Rhyme Animal and Aesthetic record that I did.
Okay.
Called We Ain't You.
Yeah.
I did the record with Frankie Payne.
Yeah.
He's got a new record coming soon that I did 2 joints on. Adam Bomb's album. I did the intro for, and I know that there's a video for it, so that's gonna drop.
When did it's not out yet? His album?
No, it's called. I think it's called Road to Rehab or Road something like that. Shout out to Adam Bomb, man.
Shout out Adam Bomb. I'd like to do some work. I'd like to work with Adam Bomb.
Yo, he's dope. Man. He's definitely one of the illest in this city, man.
Yeah, he's been nice. Yeah, been nice.
Theo just came and took a couple beats from me the other day. Me and you are working on the joint, right? You know what I mean? So there's all that.
Staying working, staying busy.
Oh yeah, man.
I've
been.
That's proper.
You know what I mean? Like always, man.
That's a proper thing. I don't know, Finn. You got any more questions? You want to? What do we have?
No, that's good. So we're good.
We're to turn on the Bunton burner at the lab. So yeah, this has been another edition of the Lab Chronicles. Myself, Slang Hugh, the co-host, co-brethren, aka man. To the right or left of me, whatever.
AKA. Yo, Tony, tell them where they can find you at.
Big Tweeze on Instagram, Big Tweeze on Twitter. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
How often does the podcast come out? That's one of the
views before the 6.
Yeah. Talk about it.
Okay. The podcast comes out when the podcast comes out. You know what I mean? Like that's how it goes. I rate you guys and your like dedication and stuff like that. But I have two youth them at home and they're young and you know what I mean? So and Thrust is a busy guy and stuff. So I've actually been doing a couple by myself now, but you know.
Yeah, I heard the last one with Ricky Dread?
With Friday? Ricky Dread, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, definitely check out the podcast Views Before the 6. You know, if you want to learn about Toronto history, you know,
for sure,
you need to check it out. It's a need, especially if you're in this music thing. Learn your history. It's always good to, and it's always good to. You might, the way that they're sampling the '90s shit anyway, you might hear some '90s shit or go look back and listen to it and make a brand new hit out of that shit.
What do you mean, man? Don't you remember a couple years ago, Skrillex used fucking Wild for the Night. Fuck being polite.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. And that was a big tune, man.
Father Time.
They're starting to sample us, fam. You know what I mean? Like,
shoot, I'm thinking I might go sample some of those joints too. Shout out all the Toronto legends, all the Canadian legends. We didn't even pick a West Coast, man, when we were doing the list. But anyway,
in the beats, I mean, there could have been.
They could have been.
Pick any of the early Rascal stuff. For
pretty
me,
much.
Pretty much. Chemo's phenomenal.
Dreaded Fist.
Yo, you know who doesn't get a lot of doesn't get a lot of credit as a producer, man? Is Classified.
Yes, that's true.
Yo, he makes really dope beats too, man.
I actually forgot he made beats.
He has a beat called it's a random. It's called High School High that I fucking love that beat, man. Yeah.
I haven't listened to enough Classified to be honest with you. I've only heard his singles.
Mainstream shit.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But yo, don't know, follow me, MC DJ Finn. Follow golderamusic.com. Get this podcast on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud. Yeah, man.
All of them thing there. And it's Slang Hugh everywhere. At Slang Hugh everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud, whatever
Black Planet.
Black Planet. Anything you could think of. It's the same thing. Check me out.
Black Planet still around? Right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I used to get the emails up till last year. They had to send back take me off the list. I didn't even know my account's still open. Type thing.
Love it.
2 girls are interested in you. Emails still get that. But yeah, it's the Lab Chronicles. Thank you for tuning in, and we out.